I just started it over again. Lost you again.
Again?
Yeah.
That's so dumb.
Okay. Either way, here. What if I move this down? I want to... Oh, God, that's scary.
Literally the entire screen got taken up.
Okay. Either way. I don't love the white of that. Let me... See, can I make you bigger? Not really. Not how I want to. Okay. So, eSports Reports podcast with Nathan's face cutting in and out. Episode 6, I believe, is what I titled it, because it is episode 6. Yeah, episode 6. Oh.
Welcome back to Game 5 of the day, gentlemen.
Okay,
It's going to be 100 Thieves here up against CLG to close it out. But before we get into that, we have got to talk.
League people, please stop. Oh, do. Okay. Just gonna... Oh my god, your thing cuts out instantly. It's really weird. Let's go on. Leave and rejoin.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was talking, you couldn't hear me before I said leave and rejoin.
Okay. Here, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna join as a voice. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. God, I still lose you though. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you.
Okay, let's just go. Cause we could mess around with this all day and
It's true.
probably won't fix it. Okay, so, man, I hate starting with Call of Duty because of how lame Call of Duty is right now. It's just like, I mean, nothing's going on. But, I don't know if you've seen, but I don't know if... Basically, they've now said that everything's online for, like, the rest of the season. I don't know if you saw that. But... it's pretty crazy. Like, I don't know, school, like they did the 30 extra days on the corona thing, so now it's like till May we're locked in. And then they've now canceled school through May, according to people I know, and you know that just schools around here have been canceled.
Oh yeah, a ton of people's like graduations, proms, all that fun stuff, like all of it's been canceled already.
Yeah, I can't believe
it's all over.
That sucks, like prom and then your graduation being canceled.
Oh yeah, not a fun time.
I can't imagine that. That'd be wild.
I think it'd make everybody happier if CDL would at least say when they're coming back.
I know, it's more just annoying that they don't. Like, they have no word on it. And now they're kind of like going in like a... Because here's the thing. Like, I feel like they're not rushed because of how well Warzone's doing. Like, Warzone... I saw a thing and it's like Warzone's been the top game for like... Or the top thing on Twitch for like the past 3 weeks. Like, how long is it going to go? And
yeah.
I don't know. I mean... I feel like...
I mean, it's definitely on like... It's on that Fortnite level because everybody is at home. Yeah. So you got everybody like... playing it, and when they're not playing it, they're watching it. You know?
Yeah, I totally get you. I think it's just like, I guess once everyone goes back to work, we'll see. I feel like I'm wondering, like, I don't know. Do you think like some of these like, okay, well, do you think like some of these like, do you think league and stuff like, is it hitting the numbers it was hitting like before all this? Because I still feel like the numbers overall are down.
I mean, okay, so I tried to look up numbers the other day actually because I went onto Twitch, and when I went onto Twitch and I went to browse, like the top 5 were all over 120,000 viewers.
The top,
which I think,
or the top games.
The top games.
Okay.
They were all at least over 125,000, which I think is a lot. But like normally League sits at like around 100 or so, and they were up like 136, 137, and then Warzone was like 140, 150. Like everything's up a ton in numbers, but I don't know how that changes whenever like stuff goes back to normal, because I don't know if it's going to take away from all your like COD viewers or if it's going to just make everything go down a little bit. Like I have no idea.
See, okay. What's weird is like I've seen a lot more like celebrities streaming now, and like it's kind of, I don't mind it, but I'm kind of get annoyed with it. Like people who already have fame going onto like a new platform to just like be famous, I guess, and then like kind of BS. Like okay, here are like my 2 examples. Like I was watching Gordon Hayward play League, and he's like, I mean, I feel like there are people in his stream that may never want, like, I think streams like those kind of help because it's like, okay, you get people who probably have never watched League watching, and then you get people who have probably never watched Twitch watching potentially. So like,
yeah,
maybe like I don't think people like random people streaming is like building Twitch's base. Like I don't think it's like helping Twitch overall. Like it might for now, but I don't think like the long-term success, like, oh, if we can keep getting like popular icons to like play our games and like stream on our platform, it'll grow it. But I think like I don't even know where I'm going with this, but I think once people go home, I don't know. I mean it more of like from the competitive side, like is like League of Legends, like is the LCS getting more viewers than like it would have otherwise?
Oh.
Because I mean, and the other thing is it's so hard to track numbers like that because like I mean maybe not the Twitch numbers isn't so much to track, but like it's hard. No one reports numbers like that yet.
Yeah.
No one's job has become that yet, where they're like, because okay, like here's a way to think about it. Like in football, in baseball, and all sports now, they've started to look and like there's coaches who take like an analytical approach to it, and like okay, we do this because the numbers say to do this. And I don't know if there's anyone on Twitch who's like, I don't know if anyone on Twitch is like deep diving into the analytics and being like, okay, this is what happened. Like when it's all said and done, someone will be like, okay, so when the coronavirus hit, this is how it impacted Twitch, and this is what happened to the numbers, and this is what we think, like, and can formulate a statement about it, like coronavirus raised the stocks in Twitch, like, or something.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I think it's something that like I bet you could find it if you like dug deep enough into Reddit kind of thing. Like there's got to be one dude that actually tries to care.
Yeah.
But like I don't think the companies or like eSports, all the actual big companies, I don't think they're looking too much into that because it's never been a fact. You know?
I get what you're saying. Like it's just like I don't know. I mean, I feel like when this all started, everyone was kind of like, oh, this is going to be a big chance for esports to be like, to kind of bolster itself and like make itself more real and more like, I don't know what the word is. It's going to have a better reach, I guess.
Okay.
But I feel like overall it's been kind of a letdown. I don't feel like the reach has been that great as they thought. So I don't know. And I mean, I think Warzone's so weird because Call of Duty has never been the number one thing on Twitch, and now it is. So it's so odd to have it be the number one.
you're not wrong. Like, I guess when it comes to COD's been so much of like kind of a back burner game. Just like after the whole Infinite Warfare, all that fun stuff, all the I'm honestly not gonna lie. The worst part of Call of Duty, I think, like all the Infinity Wars, whenever you could jump around like idiots the whole time. Like it wasn't Modern Warfare, it wasn't World War II, like it wasn't any of that.
Okay.
I felt like all that set COD on the back burner because it wasn't original COD. It wasn't like I was trying to draw a newer audience, but COD was so much of more of like just a for fun game instead of a competitive game. And so I feel like with Modern Warfare being what it is, I feel like it was the most likely to be successful in that sense.
Yeah, I definitely do, like, okay. So when Black Ops 4 came out, like it had Battle Royale, but Battle Royale and because like Black Ops 4 never reached this level that Warzone and Modern Warfare have reached.
Yeah.
Like at all. It's never been there. So I think the game is the right game. Like, okay, it's the right setting. Like, okay, let's throw Modern Warfare. We'll get people who are old heads and new people. So it kind of drew back some people.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Warzone's probably going to stay at the top for a while, but I don't see it dying down until at least all this blows over.
Oh, for sure.
That's kind of how I would play.
Like, I'm kind of surprised they haven't, like, so I haven't watched too many of the tournaments, but I know they've been having all those little weekend cash tournament things, like 100 Thieves did and all that fun jazz. But, like, I haven't heard too much, like, complaining about the game. Yeah. Like, normally, like, especially with Fortnite, like, people were bitching about that thing, like, left and right as soon as it started. But with, like, Warzone, like I haven't heard too much. Like unless I'm just clueless about it, like everybody's just kind of annoyed about how many lives you get. But in the end, like it is what it is. Like it's just part of the game.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I don't know what. I guess the other thing is like, okay, when you watch Warzone, like you can die, but you might be brought back so quickly. So it then. Like, if you're watching a streamer, you might not just tune out because they died. You might be like, well, I'll sit there and watch, and, they can keep me interested with their, like, personality for 5 minutes while they come back. Or whatever.
It's honestly a great streaming game when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to content, like, you have so much, like, I guess when it goes back to just dying kind of thing, like, you're not going to be dead for too long. Either that or you're going to be starting a new game. Like, it happens really damn fast.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So, question for you.
Okay.
So, the beta for Valorant comes out on April 7th.
Is it PC only? I would assume it is, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
But, like, they released a little, like, in-house beta kind of thing, and like Cloaksy and Myth and Liquid Poach and Valkyrie, like all of them went and they played the game and they tweeted out about it. They were all like, we love it, blah blah blah. So I guess I got two questions for you. One, do you think that everybody that's like went and played it is obviously gonna like say good things, like nobody's gonna say anything bad about it, because it seems like nobody did? And two, when the beta comes out on the 7th, do you think that's going to absolutely take over Twitch?
Okay. I think that actually is probably the most reasonable thing to overtake Warzone currently. I see Valorant. Yeah. Valorant will probably be right up there in that top 5 for at least a week or two. But I don't think people are going to say bad things when you get invited to do things. So, like,
yeah.
If I got invited to go play the newest Call of Duty over in LA or something and they flew me out, I'm not going to trash their game.
Oh, for sure.
I might not say my truest facts, but the other thing is you haven't played it enough. You haven't played it enough to really judge. Like, you play, I don't know how many hours, I don't know what the hours should be, but there's like for multiplayer games, I'd say after 100 hours, you should feel confident in being able to say like, okay, this game is good, like, or you have a good grasp of it. But like, if I go play a game for one day for 8 hours, I don't think I have a good grasp of it. I don't think I have the final say in is that game good, is it bad, is it fun, or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that kind of like you hear this all the time, or I don't know if you do, but I hear it all the time. It's like it takes 100 hours of doing something to like consider yourself a professional in it. And like, even though obviously we're not professional gamers, but like I feel like that's what it takes to get a feel, like a true feel of the game.
Okay.
And so, but also, so I think that Valorant is not only gonna like take over Warzone. I think it's gonna like its numbers are gonna be ridiculous. Because have you seen how you get like an option to play the beta?
No.
So you have to make a Riot. You have to make a Riot account, right?
Okay.
You got to make a Twitch account.
Okay.
You got to link them.
Okay.
And you have to. So some like big streamers and like other people, like some people are gonna automatically get the beta. But for you to get the beta, you have to go on to Twitch with your link to Riot, and then you have to watch. And you might get a key to tune in and be able to play the beta.
So it's essentially like drops, like Twitch drops for beta keys?
Yeah.
That's, I mean, okay. That's a good way to draw people in to watch, and then like, oh, if I want to play, like my best shot at playing is to watch someone play, and then I could get a key to play.
And people are going to want to watch to play it anyways. Like, especially when it comes out, everybody's going to be like, oh, what the hell is this? And whenever you see those numbers going up and they start to get up there by like League of Legends and stuff like that, like more people are going to start clicking on it and be like, what the hell is this game?
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I mean, I think this is a good, like, I feel like right now is a good year to put out a game. Like, games put out now are going to be, like, have a good chance to develop because, like, you have a whole year to develop whatever competitive scene you want, however you want to do it, because no one's rushing right now. Like, nothing's really rushed. So,
yeah.
I mean, but obviously everything you do, if you make everything quicker, like, things will happen better. But I mean, it's a beta, so who knows when the real release is.
True.
Because I also
it said summer, so
yeah, I don't know. I don't really.
So question: do you think?
Beta.
Well, I don't know what you said. It kind of lagged up on me.
Like when I play, like I won't even play some betas on games. I'm trying to think of a game, but there are games that I've gotten the beta for that I never played because I was like, dude, I don't care about the beta. Like, I'm just waiting for the real game. No reason, like, because I mean, even Call of Duty, like, I played the beta for a little bit, but I didn't like max level and like keep playing constantly because I was like, no, I'm good. Like, I've seen it. Like,
yeah,
I've found my feel for it, and then I'm good.
But do you think that's because it is Call of Duty, so you're already kind of familiar with it?
Yeah.
Like, this is kind of just a whole new spectrum.
Yeah, but I also think it's like, my thing is like, when I play, I like to work towards something. And, okay, so here, like, when I play Call of Duty, when I'm playing like Modern Warfare Remastered, or Modern Warfare, and I'm leveling up or whatever, like, I'm trying to get, maybe I'll try to get challenges or like a gold gun or something. Like, even though I may not be directly working towards something, like, I'm usually working towards something. Maybe,
okay.
And, you know, honestly, Call of Duty might be the one exception because I do play some playlists where I play just solely for, like, because, okay, actually, no. Here's my other point. So I either play to do something, to complete an objective and unlock something or whatever, or to grind my rank. Like, I want to be, I'm a bronze right now, but I want to be silver or whatever. So, like, those are like, when I play games, those are the reasons I play games, for the most part.
Okay.
Aside from playing with friends.
So Valorant, my kind of take on it, like all the videos that I've watched about it and stuff, is like, I feel like this game is the first game that's being solely made for the competitive scene. Like, every video I've watched about it, like all the Riot people that talked about it, every time they're like, it's very competitive. Like, this isn't for your casuals. Like, there's a ton of hype around that. And so do you think, like, this is the very first game to be made simply for the competitive scene? And because of that, do you think people want to hop on the beta so that way they think they have, like, kind of that kickstart to understand it a little more?
Yeah, I mean, okay, that makes sense. I get that. Because here's another, like, okay, game, like, okay, it's made for the competitive. So here's my thing, like, a lot of, like, I've watched Call of Duty pros, and they've always said, they're like, I don't feel like the game is made for me. Like, it's made for the casual viewer, player to enjoy himself. So it's like, a game like this might be something that a lot of people want, because it's like, you got to think, if it's competitive, like, they should make balance tweaks and be making changes to things that are OP and make nerfs and whatever constantly,
Yeah.
like, or quickly, which, so it'll be
And I
interesting.
think Riot definitely has the capacity to do that because, hell, with League of Legends, like, you have a new patch every 2 weeks, and every 2 weeks something is changing. Like, even if it's like small, like, there's never too many small tweaks. Like, it's like you always need to read the patch notes if you want to like actually do well,
Yeah.
because the stuff that they change, it normally, like the nerfs, the buffs, like they actually do matter. And so, like, I feel Riot having this game is honestly like really important. Kind of worried just because it is a first-person shooter, but when it comes to like the competitive and the ranked aspect of it, like I think they're gonna excel at that.
Okay. I mean, it's just, I think some people are concerned with like how much is going on in the game, and then like, because okay, I don't know, like, from talking to people about watching CS:GO, they're like, okay, when you're watching, it can be boring because they're just watching certain peaks. So, like, then, and then, okay, on Overwatch, I've watched a video, and the dude was like, okay, pros in Overwatch, like, and basically this is for any game. They have mastered the three things. It's like positioning in game, like, you know how to position yourself in a spot, like, okay, if I'm this person, I play here, I go here, whatever. Game awareness, where like, okay, I know, like, okay, so-and-so just used their ult, it's down, like, or like, so-and-so has been destroying all game, they're about to have their ult. Things like that. And then the third was like mechanics, so just being able to play. So I feel like the capacity to go pro in Valorant will be higher than maybe like, it'll be like, it'll take a different, I feel like it might take a different kind of player than CSGO, because like, it'll be interesting to see who are the best pros in Valorant. Where did they come from? Did they come from Overwatch because they're used to these abilities and managing that kind of thing? Or is it CSGO players because they're used to the mechanics and they know it all? Or is it someone at, like, what game is going to filter in with the best pros for Valorant? It's an interesting,
That's so true, dude.
It's an interesting thing to think about. Okay, but let's go ahead. Unless you got more, let's jump into League. Keep talking
I'm
about
down to
Riot
jump in League.
into
Exactly.
their babies, into their real baby. Okay, so walk me through. Okay, because so there was tiebreakers on Monday, and so I must have like just brain farted the last couple weeks, because I don't get how Dignitas made it this far. Like, I thought they were out. I could have sworn.
All right, so Dignitas had a freaking. All right, so we were trashing them early when we first started this podcast because they started off so strong, and then they just kind of shit a brick.
Yeah, I remember them
And
being
so,
at 5-11.
yeah, so basically they lost to Cloud9. Like, this is back in early March.
Okay.
They lost to Cloud9, lost to 100 Thieves, lost to GG.
Okay.
And then after that, they kind of just went off again. Like, they went on a good 1, 2, 3, 4. They went on a winning streak.
EG, so okay. I remember seeing the EG loss and kind of thinking, okay, so they beat Dignitas, then they beat TSM this past weekend.
Yeah.
So okay. So
basically,
okay.
This past weekend, whenever, like, remember when I said, like, it really kind of matters about this whole, like, TL and where'd it go? Oh, the Team Liquid and FlyQuest game, like, that really mattered kind of thing.
Okay.
So basically, after that game, when Team Liquid lost, it locked in all the teams with 9 wins into playoffs.
Okay.
And so that put in 100 Thieves, that put in TSM, that put in FlyQuest, and that put in EG. And so it was pretty much Golden Guardians, Dignitas, and Immortals
Okay.
all fighting for a spot.
So Golden Guardians, Dignitas, and Immortals all fighting for a spot?
Yeah.
Okay, so So let's jump into Monday. Monday is kind of where I'm confused. Okay, so I think I see why Dignitas and Immortals played because they had the same record, they play.
Yeah.
So then why? So was Golden Guardians just gonna play the winner? Because whoever got
Yes.
10 to 9 wins would then play GG and then
Yeah.
and that
So
was for the spot.
Dignitas, Immortals, GG were in a 3-way tie.
Okay.
But GG had the most wins over those two teams. So they were technically the top of those 3.
Okay.
So Dignitas and Immortals played, and Dignitas came out on top. And then so Dignitas got the chance to go play GG to settle that tiebreaker.
And then and that was for a playoff spot.
Yeah. That was for the 6th place spot.
Okay. And then here, I think I figured out how this 100 Thieves thing worked out. So, okay.
Yeah, that was for 3rd place.
At the end of the week, okay, that was for 3rd. So at the end of the weekend, 100 Thieves and FlyQuest had the same record. 100 Thieves beats FlyQuest. And then 100 Thieves would play EG because then they would have the same record at 11 and 8. And
Yeah.
So they lost. Okay. So FlyQuest was... So they were fighting for 3rd, you said? So it went...
Yeah.
So the standings, it's Cloud9, TSM, EG, 100 Thieves, FlyQuest...
No. So TSM, all right, so I was actually watching this game with one of my buddies. So Dignitas on Sunday was supposed to get knocked out by TSM.
Okay.
But they played TSM, and TSM literally looked like they were throwing the game. Like, it was horrendous. It was so ugly. It was awful.
Excuse me.
And so Dignitas wins that, and that gives them a chance to get in. And that locks in TSM to the 5th spot because they ended up 9-9.
Okay. But they didn't need to win to solidify their spot, but a win would have...
Yes, they were already in.
Okay. But they went from potentially being in this tiebreaker for 3rd to an instant drop to 5th?
Yes.
Okay. Makes sense. So...
Yeah. So, but what I'm thinking... Okay, so the league is kind of weird. So if you go to like next week
I'm looking at the
kind of
schedule,
thing...
It's throwing me off.
Yeah, you see how it's like weird how GG and TSM look like they have a bye?
Yeah. Do they
they don't.
Loser?
So basically, here's how it works. Like, the first 2 games, it's the number 1 seed versus the 3rd or 4th seed, but they get to pick who they want to play.
So Cloud9 chose 100 Thieves.
Yes. And then EG, being 2nd place, got stuck with the other person, so they're playing FlyQuest.
Okay. So...
And then after this, so you see how it's like
GG
the
and TSM
5th and the 6th?
Don't know.
Yeah. The losers go to play those 2.
Okay.
And then the winners go on and play each other.
Okay, so
basically, the second games that it looks like they have a bye week, those are actually the losers bracket.
Okay, so that's the elimination. Those are essentially elimination games. These first games are just... So essentially, so the top 4 essentially make it to a winner's bracket is kind of what you're saying?
Yes.
And the bottom 2 are in the loser's bracket where they have no room to struggle.
Yep.
Okay, so... how is it decided? Like, if 100 Thieves lose, is there a set who they're going to play? Like, they will play GG, or will they, like, how are they going to determine? Or does it depend on who wins? Like,
it goes into seeding.
Okay, so TSM would play... Is TSM the 5th seed or the 6th seed? Or is
the 5th. Okay. So TSM would play the worst team.
Okay. So, basically, if Cloud9 lost, there's no way they play Cloud9.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's why me and my buddy were talking about it, and we were like, well, do you think they threw it on purpose, knowing that they get locked in at the 5th spot? Therefore, knowing that they're going to get, like, they get put in the losers bracket, so they know they're going to play not that good of a team their first round.
I mean...
Instead of having to play 2 games.
Yeah, but, I mean... I don't know. There's a lot of thoughts always on that kind of thing. It's like, does film matter? If they see me more, does that matter? Like, maybe I have a new thought, like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. But, okay. So how do you? So the winners are gonna play each other, and that's gonna be. Is this? I would assume that's the Saturday 11 game, April 11th, potentially. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, that's when the winners play each other.
Okay, I think I see how it's going. So these two, okay. So the top four play each other. 2 losers then play 5 and 6. Then
Yes.
the 2 winners from the winners bracket play each other. And then who is that loser in the winners bracket finals? Who does the loser play in from the winners? Like, so we'll just say, for whatever, C9 and EG win it. Who are they playing? Like, then C9 beats EG. Who is EG gonna play?
So, wait, are you talking about the one on April 11th?
Okay, I'm trying to figure out how this is all gonna go. So here, let's run.
All
through
right,
predictions.
so let's go round per round.
Let's run through predictions, and that'll help me figure it out. So
All right.
FlyQuest versus EG. Who you got?
FlyQuest. Oh wait, FlyQuest versus EG.
Yeah.
EG.
Okay. I think that's kind of where I'm leaning. I feel like that's kind of where the season's kind of headed. EG is
Dude, they've been playing fantastic. The second half of the season, they've been playing out of their mind.
Okay. So then, 100 Thieves versus C9. Who you got, C9?
Dude.
I mean.
Yeah, I got C9. Like, I like how 100 Thieves have been playing. They've been playing really well lately, but they also haven't been playing, like, too difficult of teams. They have had to play, like, TSM and FlyQuest and did beat them, but I don't see them beating Cloud9 this early.
Okay. I mean, that
So
would
I
probably
think
be the upset of the weekend.
Oh, yeah, if they won that game, it would be wild.
Okay. I mean, if 100 Thieves ended up taking the whole split, I think everyone would be shook.
Yeah.
Except
I'd be up for it, though. That'd be interesting.
It would be cool. Okay, so we pick C9 and EG to win. So then, 100 Thieves is the 3rd ranked, so they would play GG. Is that how?
Yeah, 100 Thieves is the 3rd rank. Yeah.
100 Thieves would play GG, and then FlyQuest would play TSM. So what do you got?
All right. So
GG
I think 100 Thieves beats GG, and I think they kind of roll over them, honestly.
Okay.
So GG. Okay, so it was Dignitas versus GG this past weekend for the tiebreaker. And this was after Dignitas had beat Immortals, and they beat Immortals well. Like, they were looking good. And then Dignitas goes and plays GG, and they have a lead all the way up until the 42nd minute, and then throw the entire game on one miserable call.
Like, okay, break it down. What happened? Like, when you.
All right, so basically, so Dignitas through this game, what happened? Like, Dignitas was playing well. It was definitely a very even game. Like, it was a pretty low scoring, low kill game, like everything like that. But so the Baron, which is a huge turning point of the game. So this was the second Baron in the 40th minute. And so in the 40th minute, your death timer is around 40 to 50 seconds. I don't know for sure. But
it's a longer.
Basically, yeah, it's a long time. Like, if they have Baron, they have the buffed minions, like, they're pushing. Like, it's going to do some damage. And so basically, they have like a 6,000 gold lead, like, which is a good amount. Like, they've just been kind of winning everything. Like, they haven't messed up. And then they go and they start Baron because they killed one person or 2 people. But those 2 people are coming up pretty soon. And so they're like, you know what? We can take the 4-on-3 fight, and then our 5th will be here before their 2. Well, when they go to take the 4-on-2 fight, the 3-on-2 fight in the Baron pit, they start getting destroyed. And then they TP in, and their other guy starts to help out, but literally the next 2 people for GG come in, and they just wipe everything up. They end up, like, wiping them, like, it was a 5-1, like, 5 kills to 1 kill. GG gets the Baron, and then just runs it down and wins 2 minutes later.
Okay.
Like, it was just a huge turn. It was very disappointing. Like, I was so rooting for Dignitas to win because they had been, like, playing so well, and they pretty much underdogs at that point.
So
but, like...
Was it like a, like... Okay, so who was going for Baron? Like, GG was going for Baron? Like, they chose to take Baron, or, like...
Yeah, Dignitas started the Baron.
Okay, that's...
So they had the call of like, hey, let's do this, whenever they should not have done it. If they just would have played safe and this game goes to 47 minutes and they just eventually run over it, or just like set something up. Like, it was a miserable call. I don't know who the hell thought of it.
They tried to like... Okay. They tried to substantially... They were on the road... Okay, so like, here's how I would think about it. So like, okay. Have you ever looked when sports and it's like breaking down the percent chances to win? So like it'll be like a straight line across. So like,
yeah,
okay, because like both teams have equal chance to win. So like it's so basically what I'm understanding is like it's going and then it's starting like the trend is going up and the chances of Dignitas are winning, and then you get to a point when they're Baron, like then all of a sudden they go for Baron, which where they're moving like the slope, they would instantly get a huge spike if they got it potentially. But instead, when you lose it, and then your people start falling, boom, all of a sudden everything's gone.
Yeah.
They could have slowed
you literally just described because the whole thing with League of Legends is gold, and so you just literally described the gold graph for that game because they were on top, going up the entire time. And then as soon as that Baron play happened and they lost those kills and Baron, the other team had taken the first gold lead for the entire game. And then they just run it down and win.
Okay. So
I had big hopes for Dignitas, honestly, dude. Like, I'm so upset.
So, GG, so you picked... Who did you pick to beat FlyQuest or EG? Or GG? Golden Guardians versus FlyQuest. Who'd you say?
Wait, I thought it was GGE versus 100 Thieves.
Oh, yeah, my bad. That's
yeah. So I have 100 Thieves beating GG.
Okay. And then we have... And then TSM, you think TSM probably rolls FlyQuest?
Oh, yeah, for sure. FlyQuest, I still have no faith in them. They've been playing awful. They lost to GG. They lost to 100 Thieves. They beat Immortals, but who cares? They're not even in the playoffs. Like, I think FlyQuest is way overrated to be in the position they are.
Okay. So by the time we shoot the next podcast, these two games, like this... Well, I guess we should shoot before these Tuesday and Wednesday games, and so that way we can see how it shook down, and then we can make our picks.
Sure.
Ooh, next week, okay, you know, I just said I think we should go to one podcast a week, but now I'm like, when I'm looking at how they have a league set up, like, I feel like you want to jump in and be like, okay, let's...
Oh, dude, the end of the spring split is wild because it's so, like, next week there's so much league and I cannot wait for it. Like, it's going to be so much fun to watch.
You know, it's funny you say so much, but then it's like you really only have, like, okay.
I mean,
it's only a few
Well, the
games.
thing is, it's best of 5.
Oh, okay. I was wondering. I was like, man, why have they only got one game? But okay, so they could potentially play.
Yeah, they can potentially play, yeah.
Because you got the band stage, and then they just sit there.
Oh, yeah.
And they get going.
Each one of these games, like, one of these series, like, on Saturday with FlyQuest and EG, that can go anywhere from, like, 3.5 hours to, like, 6 or 7.
That's insane.
Like, it's a ton of league.
Okay, so next week, we're about to substantially increase the amount of, like, I mean, they had 4 games, like, they've been having 4 or 5 games, like... So you're saying these games could potentially, like, one of these series could take as long as these whole days have taken, which is
easy.
Which is how they lay it out.
Yep. Because it's like 4 games. Yeah. Imagine if you had to throw on a 5th one. Like.
Yeah. That's insane. But I don't know. It'll be good. Okay. I guess we'll jump into the Overwatch.
The Watch.
Wrapping it up. Or, well, not wrapping it up, but finally back. Overwatch just literally, I saw it today, but all homestands are officially canceled, and I'm assuming that's going to be I mean, I think Call of Duty had already canceled their homestands, but Blizzard has canceled all homestands.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I happened to be up, and I actually watched a couple of... The only games I watched I fully watched the Shanghai game, the first Shanghai game, because I happened to be up at that time, like at 3 in the morning.
Dude, they destroyed that game.
And the thing, like, it's so like, here's the thing, with all this big break and stuff, it's like, I watched the inaugural season of the Overwatch League, and I watched a little bit last season, not as much, but like, it's crazy to see how much like players have jumped around from like what I remember. And then Overwatch is also like, there's such deep, like the rosters are so deep because of the hero pools, and like, oh, I have this dude who can play this guy. Like, you have like specialists, like he is the best so and so in the world, whereas he's like you'll have players on your team who have like a deep hero pool who like, okay, he can play these 10 heroes amazingly, but this guy, he can play him insanely better than this guy can. So it's like, we need him in for like, the Overwatch gets so crazy and hectic.
See, I didn't know that there was like, I haven't looked at the rosters honestly, but I did see like a ton of little name changes like whenever I was watching these games, because I basically watched highlights of most of them, and then it'd be like this guy from Dragons, and it'd be like the same position but a different name for them, and I'm like, wait, why did they take that guy out? Like, I didn't understand that, but that makes sense. If you got like these specialists on characters, like, yeah.
Overwatch, see, it's like, it's with the comps, like, and then with the ban, like them throwing in bans, it creates like value. I guess it almost creates value in jobs for people who otherwise like may not be accessed, because there are people who sat on the bench throughout whole seasons of Overwatch because like, well, they had played this person really good, but we never need them because we never are in that situation where we just need that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just interesting. Like, one season they were like, well, this dude's the best on this support character, and then all of a sudden it was like, well, we don't even need him. Like, he's not even on the bench, like he's not even a starter anymore. And then he never came back into the lineup. So it's interesting. The Overwatch League and the meta changes like so quickly, and especially with the new weekly bans that they have, it's a lot.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a mixed bag this week. I really didn't know what I didn't know what to expect. But I'd say the biggest shock would be that the San Francisco Shock ended up 0-2 coming out of the weekend. I mean, as the defending champs, I guess I would have expected them to at least do better than winning two total maps. That's kind of,
yeah.
It came out kind of flat. And then Seoul, I guess, came out right now. I mean, here's the thing. I don't know how you judge it. Like,
where is Seoul at?
Seoul is in South Korea.
Okay. See, what my question here is, because Seoul Dynasty had a freaking fantastic weekend, but how do you connect South Korea to Los Angeles Gladiators? Like, how does that Wi-Fi work? Like, that connection?
See, here's the thing. I feel like all these... See, because there's been a big rush of, like, these players trying to get back to Korea to, like, maintain safety. And, like, it just kind of, like... I don't know. I don't know how this ping is working. And that's the other thing. That's kind of my biggest thing I want to look forward. I want to go and I want to look at these games where the ping should be bad and see how it is. How that, if the commentators feel that is making a difference.
Yeah.
Because players,
I mean,
I don't take players' opinions totally valuable, like, because you're biased. You're really biased, but commentators are more unbiased. You would think maybe they could tell you.
See, what I'm wondering are, like, okay, so I didn't watch too many games. Like, I watched highlights here and there. But now that I think about it, like, the games that I did watch of, like, the Dragons and Charge and Hunters and Spark and, like, Hunters and Dragons, like, all those teams that I watched are close to each other. I didn't watch any of the games of, like, Valiant and Dynasty or Dynasty and LA. Like, I didn't watch any of those, so I didn't know if there was any, like, apparent lag that you could actually see.
But then, okay, here's the other thing. Like, okay, so, okay, we both didn't really watch it. We don't have, like, eyewitness perspective on it. But then look,
Yeah.
you almost like if you just look at scores, you almost have to say like ping might play a big difference because of how one-sided these games are. They never took a map off them all week. So is ping any like? Does that have to do with ping? Like, I don't know. Because like, okay, you're telling me a team, like, I mean, it's still we don't know. Like, you really don't know. But like, okay, so the Gladiators were able to beat who I would call like they were able to defeat the Shock, the defending champs. But then they can't even beat a Korean team. They can't even get a map. So it's really like you see these dominant teams, or you see these teams beat other teams, but then they get dominated, and so it really brings into question like ping.
And also, Dynasty is the only non-North American team that played North American team.
That's that's a very interesting point.
So, I mean, I guess we gotta wait till next week and actually watch a bit more. Because
I want to jump. And Dynasty doesn't play next week, but let's look ahead and let's look and see what we have for cross country aspects.
It is nice to see a schedule now.
Okay, and you see, so I don't know where Paris plays, but the Paris-Houston game might be one to look at as a potential. And then here's the other thing. Now Dallas is playing Los Angeles teams this week, so. How much is that ping difference? Because those, I think, are on like NA East versus NA West. Like, those are different servers.
Yeah.
Or you're going to have to lock into different servers.
Well, here's my thing. Are they... Like, okay. So, Dynasty... Because, like, I'm looking at divisions right now. Like, in the Pacific East is Dynasty, Hunter, Spark, Dragon, Charge. Like, everyone you'd expect to be over there. So why does it seem like the East is only playing the East except for Dynasty?
Okay, so who Dynasty? Okay, so they have.
Yeah, all your.
Yeah, they haven't played a single East team. See, and here's the thing, like, because all these East teams are all Asian-based teams or Korean, like Korean Chinese-based teams. So it's like, it just makes you wonder. Makes you wonder how.
I don't know, dude.
I do like I like the idea of teams central to each other playing each other. Like, okay, like all four of the Chinese teams pull up and they all play at the Chinese factory or whatever, and then like all these other teams. Like, I like the idea of like teams not super far traveling. Like, I don't like the idea of like, okay, we gotta go cross country to go play them. No, it's like, okay, we just kind of play people who are like a little 1 to 2 hour flight away from us or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, what I am seeing, though, because I jumped ahead a little bit, is that in week 10, there is a lot more mixing and matching. Like, Vancouver plays as Charge, and Vancouver also plays Hunters. Like, I think over time we'll see it. I think we just got to kind of wait.
See, honestly, I think I'm going to look for it, but I want to come into next podcast and I want to be able to say, okay, where's every team located? Like, not like geographically, like, okay, Hanzo, Spark, like, because all these teams, there was talk of all these players going back to Korea for, like, safety with the coronavirus fears and whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's all these talks of, like, so, like, I'm curious as to see, like, okay, is the Dallas team still in Dallas? Like, because Hastro does do a pretty, like, I feel like he does keep a lot of the Envy teams in Dallas. So, I don't know. It's like, because the other thing you have to really know is, like, when you think about it, like, what teams, okay, I know, like, Dallas Fuel is an NBA organization. Vancouver is run by LG. So, like, how much do you know about all these teams and, like, where they're set up? Because that plays a lot into it. Like, I don't know, like, NRG is behind the Shock. So, like, NRG is kind of like, some of NRG is based in Chicago, some of it's based in Dallas. The Shock, I think, are still based in, like, Los Angeles area.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting thing. Like, I feel like once we know that, then we can value, like, okay, these matches like I want to look at that. I want to be like, okay, every team's located here, 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 and here. So now, how is ping affecting these games between these teams that aren't so close to each other? And is it making a significant difference? So that's kind of where because until we can predict that, until we can see how that plays, it's hard to predict. Like, and then it's hard to predict looking forward with no bans. Like, how are these banned? Like, Overwatch League is the most rapidly, like, you are going to get a different thing every week to week, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
And you really don't know. You really don't know what you're going to get. So
definitely.
Okay, we want to jump into Rocket League. The Rocket.
Yeah, we'll be more prepared for Overwatch next week.
I mean, I think so, but then I don't know. We'll see.
Fair.
We'll see. Okay.
Yeah. All right, Rocket League, dude. Our flying vehicles.
I don't even see in there. I don't understand how they're play on, like how the regional, because it's regionals. So I don't understand exactly how everything works out. Like,
yeah.
I get the vibe that it's like, because here's the thing. Okay, look, NRG played Sonics, beat them. Then NRG
and all these are best of 7s when they're normally best of 5.
Okay, but it's like, okay, if you look, Ghost played 3 times.
Yeah.
And then Space Station played twice, G2 played twice, NRG played twice. Like, Cloud9 only played once. Like, I don't understand how it's really going.
See, here's what I'm thinking. Without knowing the actual structure, because this is only 1 week, like this was it all kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm guessing NRG and Sonics were kind of just like your two. Well, actually, let me open standings. Maybe this will help out. As long as standings aren't like. Oh, shoot. Go to standings.
Oh, okay. Standings shows us a better picture.
Yeah, standings is exactly what we need to see.
Okay. Here, I'm gonna block everyone on our screens. I'll throw that up. Let me open Discord right here. Boom. And I'll put streams. Okay. So.
All right. So the first game was the lower round 1. And so I'm guessing that was like the game to get in.
Yeah, okay.
So, Ghost beats Cloud9.
I mean, Cloud9 was hot, but Cloud9, I guess I think when I look at that, I don't see it as a real shock because Cloud9 was trash all year.
Oh, yeah. They did better towards the end, but like Ghost has been pretty consistent for the most part.
Ghost has given everyone a kind of... Yeah. Okay. So, Cloud9 is out. And then, okay, so Sonics played NRG for that winners round. So
yeah, I watched some of the Cloud9 Ghost Gaming. Like, it wasn't close. Ghost Gaming destroyed them. I watched some of the Ghost Gaming Sonics. Like, it wasn't close.
Wait, so that was it? That was the whole finals? Wow.
Yeah, that was it.
Wow.
So, Sonics lost to NRG. And I didn't watch that one. But with them losing that badly, like 4-0'd. Like, they got 4-0'd twice. What happened to them?
Got destroyed. They really got destroyed.
Yeah, they had to play the first one against NRG, and they got whooped. And then they go down, and they play Ghost Gaming, and they got whooped.
God, they never even won a match. 8 matches, you never won one. Or 8.
Dude, we need to go back and watch that G2 NRG game. I bet that was real good.
Probably. I mean, G2 was strong all year. Okay, so here's the thing. So here's what I don't get. So, okay, let's look. NRG loses to G2. Why? Okay, so here's what I'm kind of confused is why didn't NRG get a second, like, there's no real eliminate, like, okay. NRG only got 1 game. If they lost, by losing to G2, they instantly didn't have a chance to be in the grand finals. Like, that was their chance.
Yeah.
Which I think I would make changes to the bracket if I was Rocket League. Just because I mean, given the fact that they did play 2 games, so I mean, I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about it all. Like, a Space Station...
I mean, I think it makes sense. But the reason it makes sense to me is because Space Station Gaming was our number 1.
Okay. So
and G2 was our number 2.
So, like...
So, G2 gets the harder team to play in the semifinals.
Okay.
So, that's why they get NRG. And Ghost Gaming gets play Space Station Gaming because Space Station Gaming was our number 1. So, the lower seed's going to come out of Sonics and Ghost Gaming, you know?
Okay. Yeah, okay. So here's kind of how, now after going through Rocket League, I now see how the playoffs work. Okay, so number 1 seed plays the winner of the loser quarterfinals. So, like...
Yes.
And then the second seed plays the winner of the quarterfinals, like of the first quarterfinal matchup.
Yeah.
And then but essentially everyone else is just playing for a chance to get into the semis.
Yes.
And then, okay, so, I mean, Ghost had to really climb because they had 6 teams make it. It was 6 teams out of the 8, or out of the 9 or 10. So 6 teams make it, 2 of which play for just a spot in the quarterfinals. Then the 4 quarterfinals teams then play for a spot in the semis. And then the semis win. I mean, I think Space Station Gaming, like, is a good team, but I don't think they're after it all, I think I would have to say NRG is still probably a better team than Space Station. I mean,
I don't know, dude. NRG played real bad the second half of that season. Like, if we look into weeks, like, what was it, like 4 through 7 or so, like, they did not play well. Like, I remember I kept picking them because I liked how they were playing, just looking at them, and they kept letting me down. But, like, watching them play in playoffs, I think they played great. I would like to see a game between, like, a third place game between NRG and Space Station. I think that would be good, but, like, I don't know. I still think I'd take Space Station over them.
See, I feel like, okay, if I was going to do a postseason, like post-Rocket League season rankings, I would go G2. They won it. Got to pick them.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I would put NRG as my number 2. Like, if I'm looking into next season, nothing changes. I'm going into next season. G2 is my number 1. NRG is my number 2. Space Station is my number 3, but I would still consider them, like, they've never done it at the biggest level. Like, they've never, maybe they have, like, this just shows my lack of Rocket League history knowledge. But, like, they've never won the grand finals at, like, a season.
Okay.
And then, so then I would put them as my 3. I would throw Ghost Gaming as my 4. And then, like, I might just chalk up the Sonics run to, like, hey, it happened to work, but, like, they didn't. I would put them below Cloud9 almost. Like, I would think
Sonics.
Yeah, I would put Cloud9 as, like, they were showing promise at the end of the season, so to carry that into next season, they ranked higher than Sonics because Sonics just fell off at the end.
I get what you're saying.
Okay. But I think.
I agree. Besides the Samsung and the Space Station Gaming, I agree.
Yeah, so that's how I would.
I mean, G2 beat NRG and then just mowed over Space Station Gaming.
Yeah, like, I mean, I imagine watching that and just being disappointed. Like, dude, they literally.
Oh yeah.
Like.
I mean, I feel like anybody that watches Rocket League definitely expected more out of that game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of one of those things. It's like when you go to rewatch things, do you look at, like, how close it was, or do you, like, think, like, do you watch blowouts over again? Like, when you watch a blowout, do you like
just for the highlights of the team that won?
Okay, but I guess that's it. That's all I got for Rocket League.
Yeah, same. I mean, congrats G2. I don't know whenever more regular season comes to play, but I don't know, because this was like the spring split for them, like league.
G2 was strong all year, and rightfully so. They won. They weren't
Oh,
really
yeah.
weak until they didn't finally lose until like halfway through the season.
Yeah, for sure.
No surprise. It's not a super shock that they win. But okay, think I'm gonna stop the recording and call it here. Call it a podcast.
All right.
Okay, I'll catch you later, man.